In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up your new iPhone 16 Pro or 16 Pro Max from beginning to end and in a fairly simple way. The first thing you need to do is to swipe up from the bottom and the setup process automatically begins. Here you have to select your language. I'm going to choose English and your country, which in my case is all the way at the bottom. I live in Spain. There we go. It is going to take a couple seconds to set your language and country. And once that's done, it is going to let you choose the appearance of the phone. The default option is the basic one you see on most iPhones, but you can set it to medium, making everything a little bit bigger, or large, making everything even bigger. In my case, I'm going to set it to default. Next up, you have the quick start option, which is very convenient. If you have an older iPhone, you can actually transfer all your data from that old iPhone to your new device automatically. If you get your old iPhone next to the new one, this menu is automatically going to show up, allowing you to set up your iPhone just by tapping here on continue, connecting the camera on this one to this little QR code on the new phone. But in this case, I'm not going to do it because I want to show you how you can do this step by step so you can get your new device properly configured. Let's tap here on setup without another device. Here we can choose our keyboard. In this case, if we tap on customize settings, we can actually add or delete keyboards. In my case, because I selected English as the language and Spain as the country, it automatically included the UK English keyboard. But if for some reason I wanted the American English keyboard, I could just add it right here. Let's scroll down to English US, tap on QWERTY, and tap on done. And just like that, we have English US as another option. Now, the way this works is that the keyboard that's at the top is the one that's going to show up by default. So if you want to change it, you just have to tap and hold on these three bars right here on the keyboard you want to use as your default keyboard, and then swipe it all the way to the top. Let's tap here on continue. In this case, you can also use this keyboards for dictation. I'm going to say continue. And once that's done, the phone is going to require a Wi-Fi connection to move on with the setup. This should be a fairly simple process. Just tap on your Wi-Fi connection, type in the passcode, and tap on join once you're done. Once it connects, it is automatically going to greet you with this. It may take a few minutes to activate your iPhone display, although it rarely takes more than a minute. It's usually between 30 seconds to a minute. Next up, you have a data and privacy notification telling you that Apple values your privacy and that they're not going to share your data. There's not much you can do here, so let's tap on continue. Next up, you can choose if you want to set up your iPhone for yourself or if you want to set it up for a child or family member, which can be useful if you want to use parental controls on that new device. As you can see, if I tap here on setup for a child in my family, it is going to let you link your Apple ID to this phone so you can monitor everything that's going on in this device. But in this case, I'm going to use it for myself, so I'm going to tap here. Next up, you have Face ID, which is Apple's unlocking mechanism for the iPhone, and I highly recommend you set it up. It is very safe, fast, and secure. Of course, you can set it up later if that's what you want, but for the demo, I'm going to set it up right here in the video. As you can see, it's going to bring up a little camera pop-up so it can locate your face. And once that's done, you just have to do a circle with it on the display. And as you can see, in a matter of 5 seconds, the unlocking mechanism has already identified a 3D scan of your face and it's ready to go. It's also going to give you the option to use Face ID with a mask. Of course, this will require further scanning, but in my case, because I don't plan on using it with a mask, I'm going to tap here and move on. Now, if you want to use Face ID, you will have to create an iPhone passcode. This is a must. In this case, the default option is a 6-number passcode, but you can also choose from a 4-digit numeric code, a custom numeric code with as many numbers as you want, or a alphanumeric code with as many letters, signs, or numbers as you want. But in my opinion, the 6-digit numeric code is the best option. Now, once that's done, it is going to let you transfer your apps and data from another device, or from iCloud. As I said earlier, you can quickly transfer all your data from your old iPhone just by taking a picture of the QR code, but there's more options to transfer data. You can transfer it from an iCloud backup, from another iPhone, which is what I showed you earlier. You can save that backup to a Mac or PC, or you can even transfer data from an Android phone. Now, something you need to know is that you won't be able to transfer everything from an Android phone. I think it only works with apps, music, and photos. Those are the only things you will be able to transfer. Anything else, you will have to start over fresh. In this case, if you don't want to transfer from iCloud or from another iPhone or Android, you can tap here on Don't Transfer Anything, and as I said, start fresh. Now, one of the most important parts of the process is to log in into your Apple account. If you don't do this, you won't be able to download apps, you won't be able to log into iCloud so you can access your photos, and you also will be missing out on a lot of iPhone features. So if you don't have an Apple account, make sure to create one before we move on. As you can see, you can tap here on Forgot Passcode or Don't Have an Account, and you can create a free Apple account right here. It is no different than creating a Google account or a Facebook account. It's just going to ask for your data, your email, a password, and optionally, you can also add your payment data for purchases on the App Store or iTunes. Now, if you have an Apple account, just type in your email or phone number associated to that account, your password, and once that's done, if you have other Apple devices, for security, it is going to send a code to one of those other Apple devices that you then have to paste on the new device. Once that's done, it is going to let you know what things are being poured into your new device from iCloud. In this case, no apps and data, but there's a couple settings and 3 wallet cards from Apple Pay. This, of course, is going to depend on what things you have stored on iCloud. Let's tap on Continue. I think next up, we can set up your mobile service, so the SIM card. This is probably the easiest part of the process. If you have a physical SIM card for your iPhone, you just have to open up the SIM tray right here at the left side, put on your SIM card, and introduce the 4-digit code. Automatically, you will have access to your cellular service without any further setup. If you don't have a SIM card available right now for this new device, it's not a problem. You can set it up later in the settings. Once that's done, you can choose if you want to share your iPhone analytics with Apple. You can share or not share, doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your iPhone experience. Next up, you have a silent mode banner letting you know that you can completely shut off your phone from any noises by tapping on this button on the control center, which, don't worry, I'll show you later so you know where it is. Let's tap on Continue. Then you can set up your action button, which is a button right here on the top left, on top of the volume buttons, that can perform a bunch of different actions. As you can see, it can put your phone in silent mode, but it can also toggle a focus mode, open up the camera, it can turn on the torch, it can start recording a voice memo, it can do a range of different things. In this case, my favorite is the torch for when I go to the bathroom at 2 a.m. So I'm going to tap here on Continue. Then it also lets you know that you have a camera control button on the right side that automatically opens the camera. As you can see, it shows a little tutorial on how the button works, but there's not much customization to do, so we can only tap here on Continue. Then we get the emergency SOS notification, letting you know that if you have a car crash or any emergency happens, the iPhone can automatically contact emergency services, even by satellite connection, because the iPhone 16 Pro can connect to satellites. And well, once that's done, you have a banner welcoming you to your new device. And if you swipe up, there it is. You will have access to a fully functional new iPhone. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.